Here's a very difficult reality to face. Most people who start the coaching process never ever finish what they came to achieve. They fall off, they disappear, and they leave without the result that they originally came looking for.
I want your body, oh, you keep me bittersweet and put me on repeat. Hypnotic, supersonic. I want your body, oh, you keep me bittersweet and put me on repeat.
And the reality is, I don't want that to be you. I don't want that to be any of my clients. In this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly how the coaching life cycle works and why most people never achieve the results they're actually looking for, despite having everything at their disposal that they need to achieve it and a solid plan to lead them there. I'm going to explain to you the most common places where people drop off, why they drop off, and how to avoid that being you. This is not theory. This is based on many, many years of being in this industry, being a client, being a coach, working with a broad range of people from absolute beginners to high-level athletes, and noticing the patterns and trends across the industry. If you've ever wondered why some people truly and legitimately transform their lives and others never seem to reach their end goal, I'm about to explain why. Here is the reality as things stand. Lifestyle clients generally last anywhere between 3 and 8 months. Competitive athletes, they are generally around for a little bit longer, especially if they are entrenched in the industry and they are regular competitors. They can be around for, several years, multiple years. Some of my contest prep athletes, I've worked with, 5, 6, 7 years, but the vast majority, they don't last anywhere near that. Most drop off around the 3 to 4 month mark. Why? Not because the plan isn't working, and not because they don't have the resources to achieve that outcome, but because they don't have clarity on A, what the phase they're in actually requires, what they need to be inputting on a daily basis, and oftentimes because their expectations versus the reality of how the process runs are not aligned with one another. If you want to avoid being that person, you need to know where the drop-off zones occur. The first 90 days, very, very common. In fact, the most common. And this is where people are greatly underestimating the amount of work that needs to be put in. They're expecting overnight results with minimal effort, and they drop out of the process when they don't see that happen. Transition points are also a big one. The end of a fat loss phase or the transition into a diet break. People think I've done enough, even though they are not at that final goal that they set out for themselves, and they mentally check out of the process before they can even get to that next stage. Life stress spike, life got in the way, life happened, work got busy, I had a fight with my girlfriend, these kinds of things. Instead of adjusting the plan and having the narrative that we can always adapt what we're doing to fit in within the confines of what you're currently experiencing, they fall out of the process altogether. And these are generally the people that will come back 3 months later, 6 months later, 12 months later, asking you to take them on again, and they're back at square one, if not worse than when they started. Now, some pretty shocking statistics. Out of every 100 people that start the coaching process, only 10 to 20% see it through to the end. 30 to 40% go part of the way, they see some results, but they never get to that end destination. 40 to 60% quit before they've even seen any significant changes whatsoever. Please do not be in that last group. You'll waste time, you'll waste effort, you'll waste money, and you'll reinforce the belief that nothing works. You've heard that before. I hear it all the time. I've tried everything and nothing worked. A lot of things work. You just need to give it the time and the commitment and really understand that distinction between your expectations and the reality in order for it to work. Now, here's how to put the odds in your favor. Here's how to make sure that you are not one of those people. You need to start off by setting multi-stage goals. I know if you start off with a fat loss phase, it seems insurmountable, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds for some people. You don't even think further than getting to that endpoint because it seems so unrealistic to you. But you will get there if you're consistent enough. And once you get there, you want to have a clear plan in terms of what are the next steps either in terms of maintaining your results or in terms of continuing that progress going in whichever direction you choose to go. Commit past the 90-day mark. At the very, very minimum, you need to give it everything you've got for 3 months. If you've given it everything you've gotten for 3 months and you still feel like the process is not working for you, then you're a complete outlier, to be entirely honest with you. I don't believe in almost 20 years of coaching have I ever seen somebody truly commit for a 90-day period and not get really remarkable results. But that commitment really needs to be commitment. You need to have an innate understanding of every single variable, every single actionable point that needs to be implemented on a weekly basis. Build and embrace accountability. Don't be the kind of person that has a bad week and then misses a check-in. That is where you fall off the wagon. That lack of accountability and that missed check-in is going to creep up to 2, is going to creep up to 3, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, you've canceled your coaching program and you've essentially admitted to yourself, I can't do this. Life happens, but guess what? Life happens to everybody. Everybody. Even the people that you see on social media that have had those amazing body transformations, life happens to them just like it happens to you. They also experience stress. They also experience work issues, relationship issues, etc. The difference is that they are willing to adapt the plan to fit in with those new circumstances. The truth is this: you get to decide if you are going to be part of the minority that see it through to the end, or if you're going to be the majority that never see it through. The plan will work if you do, but you need to stay in the game long enough to see those effects take place. If you have made it this far, even if you have made it as far as signing up with a coach, you've made it further than most people. Commit to it until the end. If you want to finally commit to a body transformation that's going to work for you, drop a comment below that says, I'm in the 20%, and I will reach out to you, give you my email address, and set up a free consultation.